Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Overboard. Let's go ahead and return to the restaurant. Clarissa Turpentine is standing apart, still sniffling. Anders walks me in and steps me to one side.
Thank you all for coming. I apologize for gathering you all here. It is most unusual, but I believe something unusual has occurred. Mrs. Villenzy, where exactly is your husband?
I knew it. He's missing since last night. I'm worried sick.
It is true, I think. The maid told me the bed had not been slept in.
That's because he's dead. Dead because of her. I saw him fall into the sea. Last night he fell past my window as I looked out. No.
Please, Miss Turpentine. You say you saw him falling past your window?
He reached out to me like a ghost. How horrible. It was a horrible thing to see. And you did it, Veronica. If he jumped, it was because of you. Toying with him the way you did. You should be ashamed. You can't imagine our love, Veronica. It was pure. There, I said it. Excuse me. I saw Mrs. Villenzy on deck with her husband last night. He must have been Clarissa. Taking a moonlit stroll with my husband. No, I was in my cabin waiting. Malcolm was going to visit me. I gave him my key. But she got to him first. Or maybe you two met on deck. And you threw him into the sea. I didn't. I'm not like you. Unless he dumped you. Are you even sane, Miss Clarissa Turpentine? You were in floods of tears this morning. Unless he dumped you. Because you were some holiday fling to him and nothing more. And you couldn't stand that. No, you mustn't believe her.
Was it Miss Turpentine or Mrs. Villenzy you saw on deck, Lady Armstrong?
I can't honestly be sure who I saw. And this is terribly ghoulish, but I heard Mr. Villenzy going overboard. I heard the splash. I didn't realize what it was then, but now, well...
The fact is, Mr. Villenzy is missing. So to satisfy my curiosity, I laid a little trap. A blooded goat tied to a post, left to catch a wild animal.
You're the goat here.
I threatened to expose a murderer unless they paid my ransom. And without a shadow of guilt, a murderer showed up.
So that was you? You should be ashamed sending a widow a threatening note.
I overheard you arguing with Miss Turpentine, and it gave me the idea. I want every soul in this room to know the truth. Mrs. Villenzy, you killed your husband in cold blood.
Damn.
Mrs. Villenzy, please, come with me. The commander drags me by the arm out of the restaurant.
I should have killed you too. Just for the fun of it.
Just come with me. Better stay in your cabin until we dock.
Alright, well, there's definitely a couple things that we can try differently.
Mrs. Villenzy. Welcome to America, Mrs. Villenzy. Enjoy your stay.
I used to be someone, you know.
Hey, maybe you'll be someone inside, too. In you go now.
Banged up. Socialite Veronica Villenzy was dramatically arrested for the murder of her husband as the SS Hook put into harbor in Brooklyn. Mrs. Villenzy will be a guest of the Sing Sing Correctional Facility in somewhat less comfort than the widow of a British aristocrat might be accustomed. Pictured, Subedar Major Sarbjit Singh, retired, who solved the crime. Alright, let's go ahead and restart. Okay, what does Malcolm's key open? Can I get Lady Armstrong to stay quiet? How do I avoid being arrested? Can I get Anders on my side? A trap. It was a trap. Okay, well, we know that at least. Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Villenzy. Who's there? The steward, ma'am. What do you want?
Captain says we put into Liberty Island at 4 p.m., and breakfast is still being served, ma'am. manly. Thank you, steward.
Thank you.
Very good, ma'am.
All right, Veronica. 8 hours, then you're free.
Let's go ahead and get moving.
But there isn't a second to waste.
Alright, up on deck.
It was dark when I pushed him. Did I leave a trace?
Make my way quickly to the upper deck. The deck.
What's this? My earring. I must have dropped it last night. Someone might have found that.
Okay. So I can go below.
As I leave the rail, I look up to see the bridge officer on duty looking back at me.
Alright, let's go to breakfast. See if Anders will still be there. I make my way to the restaurant. Like it's a perfectly normal morning. Hello again, Mrs. Villenzy. Will your husband not be joining, ma'am? He has gone to the smoking room, perhaps.
Why there?
He has been playing cards with Mr. Carstairs quite a lot, I believe.
I was too hungry to wait. It smells so good.
The finest English sausages, ma'am.
The restaurant is about half full.
First Officer Anders.
Commander Anders is the ship's handsome and upstanding first officer. He seemed to spend more time with the passengers than doing any officing.
Let's sit with the commander.
May I join you?
I was hoping you would.
How are you this morning?
I'm very well. I always look forward to my time in Manhattan. Have you been before?
Perhaps you could show me around.
I would be delighted. Perhaps you could let me know the hotel where you'll be staying.
I have the name in my cabin. Perhaps I could show you.
Why not? I'm finished eating.
But you still have an appetite? You still have an appetite, I hope?
Once a carnivore, always a carnivore.
I'll go first.
I'll follow shortly. I scoff the rest of my breakfast and rush out the door. Alright, let's return to my cabin.
Anders will be coming to cabin soon.
I fall into my chase, exhausted. Let's see. Lie in wait. I lie back and listen to the sound of the waves through the portal. There's a knock on the door. Mrs. Villenzy?
It's Anders. You've got a key? Don't make me get up.
I do, my dear lady. Anders has taken the passkey from the bridge.
His key has a red tag. He hangs it on the nose of the dolphin paperweight on the desk. Close the door.
Of course.
I wanted to ask you something. Come, sit beside me.
Why, Mrs. Villenzy, I feel as nervous as a schoolboy.
You're here for an exam. Kiss me, Anders.
Let's see if we can get him on our side this time. Yes, ma'am. Anders tosses me onto the bed and starts to undo my buttons. Halfway through, the door opens and the maid comes in. I shoot the maid away from my cabin. She runs from the room. Whoops! At 11:30 might be better. Don't worry, Mrs. Villenzy. She's very discreet.
Happens all the time? Does it?
Must do. Now, where were we? It comes upon me like a storm at sea, brooding clouds that break open in a surge of rain and tide. I'm thrown this way and that and go under, unable to breathe. Once, twice, a third time, before I finally struggle ashore, gasping for breath. Then he puts his hat back on. Alright, Anders is on my side. Ma'am?
I'll see you again, I hope. Wait. Don't just go. I want to talk to you.
Yes?
Can't I keep you? Just a little longer?
Mrs. Villenzy, I have a ship to command.
The passkey would be useful. I'm just not sure what I would do with it right now. Damn the ship.
A wife before mistress, Veronica. You'd think less of me otherwise.
He gets to his feet and heads into the bathroom to wash his face. His passkey is still on the desk by the awful dolphin. Sing quietly to myself. Rule Britannia. Britannia rules the waves. I can hear the water running in the bathroom. Cuddle a pillow. It's no substitute, of course, but I sink happily into a pillow's embrace. Tidy my hair. I sit up and begin to fix my hair clips. It's amazing how many I use each day and how far they can travel. From the sound, I think Anders is brushing his teeth with Malcolm's toothbrush. Get up out of bed. Alright, now I'm ready. Peek into the bathroom. I peer around the doorway. Anders looks just great with his back to me as well. So it really wants me to take the key, but he's gonna notice, I would imagine. Lie back down. Anders returns. Let's smile. You know, you might need to get up, eventually. He picks up his key from the desk, salutes, and out he goes. Going. How naughty, though. How naughty. All right, Veronica, time to get up. The bathroom. Liaison officer. Achievement unlocked. You look a little flushed, dear. There's a bottle of tablets by the little sink. I'll go ahead and take the tablets. I'll go ahead and pocket them. Leave the bathroom. Alright, so... like, I can think of, like, tossing the paperweight out the window to simulate someone going overboard, for example. I can also think of using the passkey to get into Clarissa's room, maybe trying to get her to take the pills or something. Let's go up to the upper deck. See if we can talk to Lady Honoria. I go back to the upper rail. I'm standing by the rail as Lady H swans by. Ah, Veronica, dear, are you quite well? You look awful. Oh, do I? Simply dreadful. Too many late nights, I suppose. And how is that charming husband of yours this morning? He's not that charming. They never are once you marry them, you know. Men find it terribly tiring to be polite, I find. Are you married? I was, long time ago now, of course. The poor sausage popped several years back. I was the younger woman once, you know. We missed you at breakfast, dear. Everyone was very worried. Worried why? Clarissa Turpentine was an absolute flood of tears. She looked like a leaking cistern. We thought you might be able to talk some sense into her. Crying about what? With Miss Turpentine, who can say? Perhaps the moon upset her with its face. Honestly, I think that girl needs a good seeing to. By a therapist, I mean. Toodles! Oh, look, up there on the bridge. Isn't that the commander? You mean Anders? Oh, you are playing it cool, aren't you? Hello! Oh, I do believe he's waving at us. She treats him to a wave of her handkerchief, then turns to smile at me. You rather like him, don't you, dear? What do you make of him? Quite a favorite of mine, but you know, dear, not all that glitters is gold, as they say. You don't trust him? Oh, I would trust him. Maybe not to sail a boat, though. What does that mean? Our beloved commander, my dear, he has a secret. What kind of secret? A rather awkward one. Lucky for him, I'm terribly discreet. Ah, give me a hint. Oh, I can't resist that. He's rather young, don't you think? To be a full commander, I mean. She pulls a string of rosary beads from her pocket as she strides away. Now let's go below. Alright, we'll go see if we can do something about Clarissa, then. The aft cabins belong to the Major and to Miss Clarissa Turpentine. Alright, Clarissa's door. Knock on Clarissa's door. Clarissa, let me in. You witch, I never want to see you again. I know what you did to him, I know. Clarissa, have you seen Malcolm? Where is he? You don't know? Oh my god, Veronica, you really don't know? What did you see, Clarissa? Please tell me. Go away. Do you know where he is? He's dead. You must know that. Go away. Leave me alone, you monster, you harpy. She collapses into floods of tears again, enough to spoil her bedsheets. How can she know? How much did she see? Knock on Clarissa's door again. Meet me on the upper deck. Why? It's important. Trust me. I hate you. Alright, let's go ahead and step away. Go ahead and leave. Go ahead and meet on the upper deck. Carstairs is going to be up there now. I go back to the upper rail. There's a whimpering sound behind me. Thank you for coming, Clarissa. Want to know what you saw. Want you to listen to me. Thank you for coming, Clarissa. What do you want? Nearby, Carstairs is leaning over the rail. It's quite possible he's listening. I can see you're upset. You need to get some more sleep and try to calm down. Don't patronize me. I saw him fall, Veronica, last night. It was horrible. I was in my bunk just writing something. And I looked up, and he shot past the porthole in front of me. You sure it was him? I wasn't sure, until I saw your face this morning. I don't know what you're talking about. He wouldn't have done it except for you. You didn't love him. Why didn't you let him go? You think he killed himself? It was all he could do. He loved me, but you left him no choice. You can't have seen him. It was dark outside. The glass would have reflected your cabin. I know what I saw. Is that your porthole down there? Was this where he was standing? Maybe, I'm not sure. She leans out to sea. Carstairs is dallying nearby. You can join him, Clarissa. Is it your cabin? Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't think it is. It has to be. I saw him. I did see him. I think you had a premonition. He went for a walk before breakfast and never came back. But how is that possible? Clarissa believes Malcolm was alive in the morning. Alright, I told Clarissa that Malcolm was alive this morning. Wonder if I told anyone else that he wasn't. It was too dark to see outside. You can't have seen him. Maybe you're right. I was so sure. But I couldn't have seen him, you're right. He wasn't worth it, you know. All this. He was a pitiful excuse for a man. Just stop talking to me, please. And with that, Clarissa runs away, sobbing out her little heart. Ah, Mrs. Villenzy. It's Mr. Carstairs, young Englishman. Damn fine day, what? Good afternoon, Mr. Carstairs. Taking the air? Have you seen my husband? No, gone for a stroll, has he? He said he was meeting someone.
sounds intriguing. But it wasn't me, I'm afraid. I'm sure you'll bump into him soon enough. Can't get far in a tug like this, eh? Lovely to see you, as always. I'm going to take another turn, I think.
Alright, let's go below. Alright, we could go back up to the bridge. Lady H says Anders has a great secret. I wonder if he'll tell. We can try that. But I think that will have to wait until next time. See you then, everyone.